Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowhand. So I looked at the achievements and you get an achievement for beating this chapter, which kind of makes sense. It seems like you get an achievement for beating every 2 chapters. So chapter 20, chapter 18, you probably got one for 16 and maybe 14. Something around there at least. And then you get an achievement for beating it on hard, normal, and relaxed. Very hard, normal, and relaxed. I don't even know. I suppose they are accurate in calling this very hard because I think it is fairly significantly more difficult than normal is. And then there is an achievement for owning all the skills, which obviously there's one more skill we're going to be handed to us at least. And then that's it. So theoretically, 3 more episodes and we'll be done. We're going to the Darkmoor Labyrinth because Captain Dread sent us there, which is pretty much the entire story, is that Lady Cornelia / Shadowhand just gets sent somewhere to do something for somebody else. And she's supposed to be meeting with Mariah, and Mariah apparently knows what to do next. So the Darkmoor Labyrinth, in which Lady Cornelia Darkmoor plays hide and seek. Mariah, it's me, where are you? And she's back to her outfit. I get the idea here. In most AAA games, the protagonist starts off with like one outfit, and then usually it either starts to tear or show battle damage. Maybe there's a full costume change halfway through the game. You want to give the artist something to do and a way to differentiate the character and show that they've evolved or changed throughout the entire journey. But with Lady Cornelia's outfit, it's the same always, and the Shadowhand outfit is fully customized based on just what equipment you have equipped. So the fact that you're going back and forth just kind of feels like she likes to change clothes a lot. Or because it doesn't even really synergize with a day. This entire journey feels like it's probably taken less than 7 days. So, yeah. You would have to basically assume that after Captain Dread was captured in the previous chapter, she rode all through the night and then made it back to Darkmoor Estate, changed her clothes to a regular outfit, and then, I don't know, maybe slept through most of the day because it's nighttime again? Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense. Either that, or she changed her clothes as she was riding horseback to this area. Well, that's not realistic. She probably wouldn't have done that, but the outfit change doesn't make sense. At a certain point, near the halfway point in the story, they should have said, I am Shadowhand, I must be Shadowhand, I will be Shadowhand for the rest of the story until everything's evolved, and then you could have the return to the Lady Cornelia outfit, and then that would be the signal that her journey is over and she's accomplished her goals and she needs not be Shadowhand anymore. Mariah knows that Lady Cornelia is Shadowhand. I'm fairly certain, so there's kind of no point in this outfit. I am deep inside the maze. Come and find me, Lady Cornelia. Yeah, not much of a story. 22 stars. There are only 24 stars to collect in the entirety of the 8 sub-chapters. And loot 2,200 gold, which is a ridiculous amount, and achieve a combo of 40. So unless this is just a straight up victory lap experience. This is not charged. It's overcharged. It's got 70 charge out of 45. Oh, we have to click play first, though. Yeah. Okay. 6, 7, 6, 5. Take a spare card. And then brand this. Turn that into a 1 spare, which also gets rid of the duplicate part of that issue. 5, 4, 5, 4. And that's a decent combo, but it's hardly a 40 combo. Was that really what they're asking for? A combo of 40? That's not likely to happen unless we just get a deal that is, like I said in the last recording, just an entire single card pile with all the cards specifically designed to be on top of each other and work that way. Alright, so 8, 9, 8. And I guess there's not a lot to do right now. Yeah. I suppose you just keep playing and clear out the cards for this first subchapter, and then that just moves us to the next issue. Yeah. Getting more lucky cards might be something that we have to start thinking more about. 16 more options. You might as well use this ability right now. I assume this had some of that overlap charge, since it was overcharged. 3, 0, 9, 8. Yeah, 13 cards to get 2 cards. Pretty much guarantees a victory. But without getting a higher combo, you're not going to get more gold. I guess we will actively try to look for more of a overkill ability also. Right, we've tried that ability once. We will stick with the stand and deliver ability instead. And yeah, if we have enough to upgrade our luck, we'll upgrade our luck, but I think we'll probably just be trying to upgrade our guile instead. And this is once again these giant cards, which we originally saw these as gates that you needed a lockpick. Now we see them as hedges that you need a shear with. So you just shear that, and then is there anything we really want to do? We have a 6. We turn that to gold, that still removes that, and that gives us 23 gold. And we can try and shuffle, I guess. We see the other shears down hit there, so we need to focus in that general direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Best we can do. I could do a spare 1, and then 9, then 8, then 9, then 7, and 6. So I think that's probably good. Seven, 8, 9, 0. 9. Unlock that. You could do a spare 1, and it could be 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 2, 3. I could go 2, 1 instead of 4 at this point, because we're looking for a combo of 40. Yeah, and there's no way you're going to get that. Can I get 19 more? Well, we're committed now, so we might as well do it. 0. There may not even be enough cards on the field, come to think of it. A 4 here would get 4, 5, 4. Or we could shuffle 8, 7, 6, 7. Yeah, you would need 10 more cards. There aren't even 10 more cards on the field. Alright, just restart the hand. Like, straight up. This combo's not gonna work on this hand. In this deal, there's not enough cards. You would have to have a guaranteed victory in basically the first play. See. 9, 0, 1. We'll try a shuffle. Smoke bomb might be more useful than the previous item that was available, which I don't even remember what it was. 4, 5, 6. So since we probably can't win here, we just need to build up our spare cards to like the maximum. Ideally trade some of the numbered spare cards for Joker spare cards. That way you increase your chances of success a little bit higher. 2, 3, 2. 9, 8, 7, 6, 7, 6, 5. See, 2. 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shuffle again. 9, 0. 6, 7, 8 is probably better. 9 does nothing for us. 4. Can get rid of this. 5. Actually, it should have been 3, 2 is what I should have gotten rid of, but whatever. 2, 3, 2 gets rid of that. to a spare card. You have 9 options to clear the board, however, and it definitely feels like there's a possibility of failure here. Okay. So we don't even have any jokers, so we just lost. Yeah. So now we're at attempt number 3 on the second subchapter. And this is the real danger here. It's not that you're going to lose, it's just that they're going to put you in a squeeze where you're going to constantly struggle to efficiently manage your time. And at a certain level, yes, video games are kind of all about wasting your time, but at the player's privilege and option, not at the game developer's demands. 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 0, 1. That's a pretty good start. We have 4 number 3 cards on the face, on the field, which probably should mean that I should play this spare card now. I'm trying to save up the spare cards. But the problem you can see that's going to happen here is that we're going to be trapped looking for a 0 or 2 or a 4. Hmm. 12 options left. Yep, and this is another instance where the sound effects are just kind of quiet in the background and feel a little off-putting. Hmm. Okay. That might help us, but we still have only 8 options to clear the rest of the field. You have to get a 3-star here. It does not make any sense at all to not go that direction. Here I could go 4, 5, 6 with a spare card, or I could shuffle. We'll shuffle. I guess you do 9, and then you do 8. And then that's about it. 6, 5, 6. Eight. 1, 2, 1. 3 more cards. Yeah, once again, high chance of failure. Well, I could play that spare 3. I really couldn't do anything else. So you do the spare 1 to get that 2 off. And then, just for time's sake, I'm just going to waste these spare cards. Spare 0 to get this and this. Although I guess I could have also played that. Still nowhere close to a combo 40. And really nowhere close as far as the amount of gold you would need. Yeah. Maybe storyline wise, we'll be told that there's a secret vault in the maze, and in that secret vault is a ridiculous amount of gold. Just a game breaking large amount of gold that would be a nice little reward for making it this far in the game, but I think it's kind of questionable too, because you might kill any desire for that secondary audience of players who might want to come back and play a little bit more of Shadowhand. If you just hand them everything they could possibly want on a silver platter, then they may not want to continue playing. 9-0. And then we'll just get rid of this card, I guess. Or I could have gotten rid of this card. Actually, that would have made more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can go back to 4. Then back to 3. Back to 2. Back to 1. Back to 0. We could do a 1 here. We could do a 9 here. It's probably a little bit better to do the 1 here. Go ahead and shuffle. There's not enough cards here to do a combo of 40 though. There just was not enough cards on the field to start with. So you almost certainly are going to have to do some kind of duel that redeals cards. And to get a combo of 40 doing a duel, I wonder if we're going to end up fighting Mariah and she's just not going to fight back at all. Yeah. It would be kind of a boring duel, but maybe that's going to try to be an emotional twist and surprise. It would still probably have to be somebody that has a fairly large amount of health. If you were going to fight somebody like Mariah and they weren't going to fight back. Otherwise, I would just assume you would defeat the person very quickly. Oops. I'm not paying enough attention. Man, I really am not paying enough attention. I thought this was a 2. Alright, so now we have 2 4s and a 9. And I've missed the right card needed to play multiple times now. If I fail here, I don't think I have anybody but to blame other than myself. We have 3 cards to play 2 cards. Right. But there was really no combos there, nor was there really any gold. So we kind of just wasting our time here doing these different patterns. I could play a 4 and then that would get 1-5, and that's kind of it. And we can't waste spare cards. 4 gives me 1 card there and no cards there. Good to know. 3, 2, 0, 9, 7, 6, 7, 6. 7, 6, I guess. And then 7, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3. Shuffle. All that is there is some tea. 3, 4, and get rid of which one? Let's get rid of this one. 9, 8, 9, 8. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. We have 10 remaining cards. That's a lot of cards on the field to somehow succeed with 10 options and 10 chances. 5, 6, 5, 6. Another spare card. So should we spin the spare card now? I don't know what the maximum of number of these are as far as spare cards, so I think no. 9, 8, 7, 6, 7. 9, 8. 0, 4, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so 2 cards, and I could use this 4 spare if nothing else. Alright. Again, I don't think there was 40 cards even at the beginning of that deal to do a 40 card combo. Yeah. We should be at the halfway point as far as the gold, so we should have 1100 gold to go. We have 1577 to go. That seems pretty much undoable. All this really feels like that's going to happen is I'm going to have to drop down to normal mode, fail on this chapter completely, and just skip to the next chapter. And then maybe in the next couple chapters we'll get some item or piece of clothing or something that would let us get combos or gold a lot faster to maybe give us a chance to achieve these goals. Let's see. I've kicked out Miss Croker, Mariah. She left in disgrace. Anything unpleasant she says about us will just be vile gossip. There's no proof. Lady Cornelia, I was afraid she would force me to leave you, but the truth is, I think I want to adventure at sea. If I sail forth with Captain Dread, would I have your blessing? So she's going off as the romantic interest with Dread, I guess, or going on an adventure. Mariah, it breaks my heart, but you always have my blessing, whatever you do. The awful truth is that the captain is captured, and I will likely be hanged in the morning. That's terrible. Wait a few moments while I fetch something. I think I have a plan. I'm just assuming Mariah has a romantic interest in Captain Dread. It's very possible she doesn't, and really just hears the call of the adventure in the sea. This story could use a little bit more blatant romance, considering how there seems to be a fairly obvious male suitor for both Lady Cornelia um, and Mariah. And for this time frame, that would make more sense, and that would also potentially help save the day as far as how this story goes. I suppose it is worth mentioning that females and males really were never encouraged or allowed to duel each other, so all of the duels in this game, not to my understanding historically accurate, but whatever. Not that the duels were going to be historically accurate anyways. But there were rules and regulations, or at least a pretense of rules and regulations with duels. So if Shadowhand does challenge the magistrate to a duel, there needs to be witnesses. Otherwise, it is just going to be labeled as murder of the magistrate and leave Shadowhand still effectively on the run, which maybe doesn't really matter that much if she gives up the persona of Shadowhand. Alright. Seven, 8, 7. We can now shuffle, and we have a decent amount of cards face up, or we could play a spare card. We have a combo of 13. Again, does not feel like there's 14. Doesn't feel like there's 40 cards on the field. If it was get the total number of combos up to 40, that would make sense, but that's not really a metric that's been tracked. So I'd have a hard time believing that's really what this goal is. Yeah, both of these seem pretty impossible, whereas getting 22 stars is fairly doable, but could still be very difficult. If we really would only need a couple of duels that are really, really time consuming to make it impossible to get 22 stars. Turn consuming. Right. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess 0, 1, 0. 8, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0. I guess there's a problem with having cards directly on top of other cards. I think that's a little unfair considering how this game plays. It should be more obvious that there is something below it so you know where to focus. 0 does nothing for us. 2, 3, 4. 1, 0, 9, 8, 7, 8. 5, 4, 8. And see, we'll just kind of never know if we have the maximum number of spare cards and that's why we're not seeing any spare cards, or if we have one short of it and we just haven't seen one. If there were extra spare cards you could pick up and they would give you gold, like say 100 gold for every extra spare card after it was fully maximized, that would be a way in which I could see you getting enough gold. Or if it boosted your combo severely. That would be weird, but it'd be another way in which I think you could succeed. We have 4 more cards. We play this, we still aren't going to really win. Yep. Once again, just start over. Doesn't feel like it's really necessary to have that pause menu there, but maybe there's a reason why you would want that. Yeah, it's pretty much in the way. It would be much easier when you restart a hand to just be in the menu and be ready to play, and then if you want to go back to the main menu, you could do it through the option. If you want to equip yourself, you could do it through the options. They just want to have the distinct difference that you can't change your equipment when you're in the middle of a duel, which that's when you would need that pop-up. Go and shuffle one card. That's all that helped us with. Well, clearly we weren't at the maximum number of spare cards. Oh man, this is exhausting at this point. I've been trying to get through this game fairly quickly, and this is just another game that I think in practicality you would probably either play a couple hours of and then forget about it and then never finish it, or you would play a couple hours and then come back after a few days and play a couple more hours. But trying to make this your full-time focus as a game is something that just doesn't work out as far as the amount of time it takes and the balance and just how, I guess, mentally draining it is to play this game. Five. One, 2, 0. 9, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6. Keep on playing. Yeah, and I keep having to take major breaks just to drink water. It's just so much talking. 1, 2, 1, and most of it is me just saying numbers out loud. Yeah. I would dare say at this point, the calming nature that one assume you would get for playing a solitaire game has very little effect, probably no effect on me at all, because I am not finding Shadowhand calming in its variant. I'm finding it draining. Whereas if there was a nice soundtrack here, and this is, I think, a damnation mostly on the soundtrack. If there was a nice soundtrack here playing, then we would be listening to that soundtrack, and then I could be lulled into just a calm, relaxing experience. Left to silence, I find that a little bit unnerving, perhaps. Yeah, attempt number 3. And empty. It's frankly even slightly on the spooky side for no good reason. And I guess I just want more story. Like, compared to like a visual novel, this game I guess is the exact opposite of that, where there's basically no story and it's all gameplay. And oddly, most first-person shooter or AAA games have enough cutscenes and story in them, even if you are just running and gunning for most of your time. So it has left the void in which you will find a game with no story in the category of these kinds of games that are focused too much on the gameplay mechanics, regardless of what those might be, to the extreme detriment of any other element. This game would not be that different if it didn't have a main protagonist at all, or it had a different protagonist, if there was basically no audio at all, because there already is basically no audio at all. If there was no story at all, not that much really would change. 9, 8, 9 could be played now, but I don't think I want to. 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. 1, 0. 5, 4, 3, 8, 6, 7. 1, 9, 5, 4. This somehow feels worse, but somehow might be better. Yeah. There's like considerably fewer cards face up at the moment, but if I went spare 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, it gives me 14 options now to try and find a 0 or 7 or 5. We could possibly shuffle, or we could just wait on that. 9, 8, 9. Actually, it really goes to show how that would have been really a bad idea to shuffle. 6, 5, 6. So now it's just a 0 or an 8 in total. A joker. 0. But that took like 4 tries. We're already 45 minutes into this recording. We have 3 more sub-chapters. Meanwhile, you're not really getting better combos. We haven't gotten anywhere close to a combo of 40. So unless there was a case that one of the last 3 sub-chapters gives us a combo of 40, and that combo in particular gives you just a massive multiplier with a massive amount of gold, I don't know. I don't know how you would ever meet these goals. They seem insanely high. Particularly high considering how they are not consistent goals from chapter to chapter. They tend to skip a chapter. So the last time we had any kind of combo requirement or gold requirement was not last chapter, but the chapter before it, which would have been over 2.5 hours ago in gameplay time. More realistically, at least half a day, if not longer, for most people playing the game. Yeah. And I don't mind games that enthrall me and make me want to just play them for hours and hours. But they have to actually make me want to play them for hours and hours, and that's not the case as to what's happening here. I would be fairly happy to take a few days off and not play any more of this, but that just don't have the time to do that if as a YouTube content creator. In contrast to the game I just played before this, or one of the games I played before this, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, I put probably close to 80 to 100 hours into it, and I was constantly wanting to play one more run in that randomized roguelike game. To the point where I was wearing out my voice quite a bit playing Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and it wasn't until possibly the last 10 hours of gameplay that I started to even feel a little bit exhausted by it. And I had pretty much unlocked and done everything you could do in Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Oops. 7. Wow, there's only one card even face up. 3. There's definitely an argument to just playing these cards now. But you can't get a combo at 40. I keep saying that, and I'm fairly certain I'm right. But I could be wrong. There might be some weird way that there was just barely enough cards here to get a combo of 40. It'd be interesting if maybe we did a duel. So it would be Lady Cornelia and Mariah against one bad guy or two bad guys, and then because of that, Lady Cornelia and Mariah work together for a combo, and that doubled your combos and that doubled everything, your gold, and guess maybe that would make sense. But if you were going to introduce that idea and show off that idea, then you'd almost certainly then just expect that to be a gameplay mechanic that you would see used again. And that's probably too much work for what it's worth. 7, 6, 0, 9, 3, 2, 1, 0, 9, 8, 9, 8. Shuffle, I guess. But the combo multiplier, gold multiplier, stops at 5. At least that's as far as we've ever seen it go. So unless there was something that overpowered the gold multiplier and had it do times 10 instead of 5. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of feel like they just beta tested the game playing on relaxed or normal mode, and they never really considered the implications of having people play on very hard mode. Attempt number 2. Let's see. Shuffle. 8, 7, 6. Oops. 5, 4. That still works though. 3, 2. 1 can't help us. 6 can get these 2 gone. Oops. Take this 9. Then take this 6. 3, 2. 5 does nothing. 5 does nothing. 1 can get to 0, and then this 9, then this 8. Maybe I should have just pushed more for luckies. Hmm. 5, 4. 5, 1, 0, 1, 0, 9. We want to go 0, 1 or 0, 8? I think you go 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Shuffle. Pretty much, if you can, shuffle, shuffle. Then 7 and 6. 8, 9, 0, 9, 2, 3, 3, 0. Oh, this is just so stupid. Like, you can't even do a standard deal after time without using spare cards. Is there really enough of an argument to try and solve this? Yeah. That's a lot of spare cards to use. But you know what? I'm just not willing to put in the time because, you know, I know what's going to happen here. I know we're going to get to sub-chapter 8 and there's going to be nearly 800 gold short and 0 chance of having a 40 combo, and me spending 3 spare cards now isn't going to change that, really. This thing is going to have to hand me a victory, and it doesn't seem like it's handing me a victory in this sub-chapter, so it has to be the last sub-chapter. So 8, 6, 5, 9, 8, which is looking for a 2 or 4. There we go. And I guess maybe when it says the finished effect. Maybe that's when a combo is finished. And every card you turn over counts as finished. But yeah, we're basically on the first turn, and I just turned over a ridiculous amount of cards. So just start over. 5. Or maybe there's simply just a hesitation that I did when I finally ran into a card that could be played. Like, logically, it would almost certainly make sense to just use a spare card here. Yeah. And there's just an item, and now all these cards are face up, which makes them kind of difficult to look at. 6. 7. Or there's 7. The 7 actually doesn't do anything, does it? 6, 7. I guess that doesn't really expose anything either. 4, 7, 0, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 9, 0. I don't know if there's really a reason to shuffle at this moment. I mean, you could move some cards around, I guess, so you might as well try it. Alright, so we could go 9, then 8, then 9, and 0, and then that pretty much ends it. 8 does nothing for us. 5, get this 4. Then do we go 3, 3, 4, 3, I guess. 8, 9, 0. Take this 0 instead. 3, 4, 5. 1, 0, I guess. Let's go ahead and play this. And then we have 15 cards to find a 0 or 2. Again, no major gold being acquired here. No way to really get a combo of 40. Maybe we could get a couple more spare cards. But yeah, unless we were given some special item that doubles your gold and doubles your combo. Yeah. We have done 3 stars in 7 of the 8 subchapters. We've done fairly decent in my book as far as getting gold. And yet, we have been nowhere close to 40 combo. And yeah, we would need 1,000 gold. So unless the loot in this final chapter, subchapter, is 1,000 gold, and there's a 40 combo, that just seems crazy. It's diamond, 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 diamond. And there's no items or anything, so this is another chapter where you just aren't dueling anyone. Okay. So we gotta try, and I guess we have to kind of just try now. 0, 1, spare. 1, 2. Okay. Now pick the spare card we can do. That would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4. Now we could go 3, and that really wouldn't get us much further, but honestly I guess we don't have any other options. So 3 on this 2, and then this 1, this 2, then this 3, then this 2, then this 1, then this 2. It feels like there might be just enough cards here to do a combo of 40. Next step though would be to play this spare card. Let's go ahead and just do that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 6. It's probably the best bet. 7, 6, 5, 6. And then this spare card of 5. Or do we shuffle? Because we could kind of shuffle. Would we get more charges with more combinations? I think you play this. 5, 4, 3. And this should work fairly nicely. There we go. 8, 9, 8, 7, 8. 9, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. Combo of 32 now. So I suppose we are just barely close enough to succeeding here. Of course, the problem now, so as to play a joker, wouldn't do anything, so shuffle. 8, 9, 0. 1, 2. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got a combo of 40, which leaves us basically 8 cards that we could have messed up on. Turn this one to loot. Now gold multiplier is times 5, but 140 times 5 is only 500. We'd still need nearly 500 gold to move forward. Let's see. 3, 4. And then 8, 9, 0, 9. There was 47 in total. And yeah. We needed pretty much all the spare cards. We had 2 extra. So we play this. This gives us maybe 18 more gold, which maybe gets us to 200. That maybe gets us to 1,000. I mean, we'll just see how the numbers work out, but... Yeah. We were 194 times 5, which gave us a hand total of 970, which had us 67 short of gold. So, yeah. Duels mandatory enemies, goals optional. Goals optional, duels skippable. If you played it on relaxed. So yeah, I would heavily suggest people play the game on normal first time through. That didn't move the story forward. That didn't really do anything for us. There's not a... Let's see, well, I guess if the goals are optional and you just don't care, what you could do is this. How to speedrun Shadowhand in one easy step. Just get no stars here. No stars here. Even this takes too long. You would think that there would be an easier way to skip than just flipping all the cards. And yeah, I totally saw that failure coming. I was fairly surprised that I was only 67 short. I was expecting to be much closer to 200 gold short as far as the requirement. But since I'm just skipping here, it means I won't get about 2,000 gold, which means I'll be about 2,000 gold short if I needed to purchase anything. And so I very, very possibly am going to have to go back and grind through a lot of times. A lot of different previous chapters. And that's like totally doable. I think we could show that off fairly easily. It probably would have made a lot of sense to have more deals like that in the first place, where the game is a little bit nicer to you. Oh, and by the way, the amount of gold and the number of stars you needed playing on normal was way less. So you still get the achievement for beating it on normal. You see this brooch? It has a lower eye on it, and the eye belonged to a tragic beauty named Bess. The magistrate's daughter? How did you get it? The truth is, it turned up in his washing. The woman that did laundry told me the sad story of Turnpike's lost love. Take it to Rich Turnpike now as a sign of good faith. He's the only one who could help you rescue the captain and bring down the magistrate. Thank you, Mariah. To Robber's Ruin, then. It's time to end this. And so we get the final passive ability, which is also like the final ability item, I guess, in total. Eye Miniature reveals the top stock card on the mouse over. The finesse attribute may result in a different stock card being drawn. Which I guess that might be useful, but I don't know how it really would be. Yeah. It just kind of tells you what the next card you would draw is. But if you have finesse attribute, which I do, you may get a different card anyways. I have a weapon reserved for the most desperate circumstances. I think you're ready for this brutal club. We can't afford it anyways. 19 smash for base damage of 19, 25% chance to stun, and an attack bonus is increased by 50%. If I could afford it, I would buy that, certainly, as a item. Yeah. And then we could buy some wig powder or a smoke bomb, which, sure, buy a smoke bomb, I guess. Yeah, I just don't see this being very useful compared to this, which I'm not even sure that this is actually that useful either, because, so yeah, I'll swap that around. Meanwhile, finding more jokers and spare cards, or removing extra playable cards. I think we're gonna just try and keep those two balanced out. Seems fairly obvious you are not going to be able to max out everything at 10, however. Okay. So, if we were to go to the original Robber's Ruin, now, skip the story because we don't care about it, and try this again, we should give it a chance to see how quickly one could get through an entire run of this, and how easy it would be to play one of the earlier sections. Why is this the item that's equipped? Well, it's not a terrible item perhaps to build up your spares and play some more. Yeah, as you're potentially getting all 3 stars, you could run through previous chapters and get more spare cards for the next chapters, but I'm not sure that helps you after a certain point, because you kind of fairly quickly have the maximum number of spare cards, and that can only help you so far. 5, 4, C5, 4, 5. 3, 2, 1, 2, 6, 7, 5, 2, 3, 2. And so you could kind of shuffle at this point, but it probably wouldn't even help you, so don't bother. Gold wise though, and combo wise on these very early chapters, it still does not really make sense. Like, you're gonna get 72 gold and get a multiplier that maybe gets you 100 gold. So you'd have to potentially play a chapter like this multiple times over. But yeah, this duel in particular should be pretty much a cakewalk. He has only 22 health and 1 defense. He probably could not hurt me regardless of what combo he got. Yeah, 22 minus 1. That leaves him with 1. So now we can try for just like the most ridiculous overkill bonus as possible. It's just like 3, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 3. 4, 3. Joker 7, 8. I guess Joker 7, 8. Then that can be 5, 4. Then 1, 0, 9, 0, 1, 0. And then Joker for that. Get a whole new shuffle. 7, 8, 7, 6. 4, 3, 4. 2, can't really do anything more. 5, 6, 7. So we have like 171 gold. We have an attack bonus of 141. Let's see. This 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, and 2 more cards, even though that doesn't really do anything other than give us gold. So 80 overkill, or 79 overkill. So what does that really give you? So you got 225 for that. That gives you an overkill bonus of 395 times 40 plus 45 enemy loot, giving you a total in this chapter of 787 gold, which honestly that is probably a decent amount of overkill loot for just 2 subchapters compared to doing other subchapters. What it doesn't do, obviously, is it doesn't really help you with the character leveling up. That doesn't change. We can now build by this weapon. So I guess that's something. Where did it go? There it is. So now we have a sword and a melee weapon. Melee land, melee tool. But the sword is still better. And I guess you could go through that 5 or 6 times. Honestly, it would feel closer to about 10 times you'd need to go through it to get every single weapon. And there's no achievement for having every single weapon. And there's no achievement for having every single piece of gear or anything like that. And I really would have to question whether there's real value there. And I didn't even see this play roll at all as an item. And yeah, if I was gonna continue down that route and just try and grind for gold, and that's about it, I would then have to skip to 5 subchapters at Smuggler's Bay, and then chapter 6 is 6 chapters, or chapter 5 is 6 chapters, chapter 6 is actually 8 chapters, chapter 7 is 8, and so forth. And pretty much every chapter, with the exception of chapter 10, which didn't have any duels in it, has a fairly difficult duel at the end that you're seeing creates major problems and unlikeliness that you would actually succeed at the duels, at least that I would succeed at the duels on very hard. So yeah, I think it is probably not worth your effort, and it is very questionable whether you'll ever have a weapon strong enough to really make a duel in chapter 19 or 21 or 22 get 3 stars. You could probably pull it off, but it would take a lot of effort. Yeah, enemies being 10% tougher and smarter, and gold being 10% less, and the goals being mandatory and harder. So the goals are about 20% more difficult, and the amount of gold to achieve a goal is 10% less. That's a lot. But yeah, we skipped through it on normal, so I don't have to play off screen, and I'm glad for that. But yeah, it is definitely not a satisfying way in which we're going to finish Shadowhand at this point. I really wish there was a lot more story, a lot more to enthrall you and keep your attention while you're playing the solitaire. Without that, you're really left with the solitaire, which it's either exactly the same level as Regency Solitaire, or maybe even a little bit worse than Regency Solitaire, because I think there's a slight chance the items and abilities you get in Regency Solitaire worked a little bit better. But I really don't feel like there's an improvement here. I would have much preferred a curated experience where every deal was planned out and it was more of a puzzle than anything else and not random. Or very hard mode should have been a random mode, and you don't unlock very hard mode until you beat the game on a normal mode. That would be certainly weird to say, hey, play all of this game and we're going to give you the curated versions of these games that we know can be beaten and can lead to perfect combos, winning on the first turn possibly even. And then we'll give you a random dealing mode where we haven't really had to test anything or balance anything, because it doesn't feel like there's really any testing or balancing going on as far as what cards get dealt where at the beginning of a deal. If there is any logic to it, it's not helpful enough. And that's led to a lot of resetting, particularly in this last chapter. But there is also no reason for me to just whine about it and keep this episode going, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.